Anyways, let's check out this Jubilee video. We have an episode of Middle Ground, and we're getting political once again. Conservative teens versus liberal parents. This is, I guess, the opposite of another one we watched, liberal teens versus conservative parents. So let's see, bro. I'm very excited for this one. I'm gonna try not to drag this out too much. It's already a 28-minute video, and I really don't want to be talking for an hour, but you guys know me. So whatever happens, it happens, bro.
Middle Ground is a social experiment that brings humans with opposing beliefs together. These discussions may contain viewpoints that are the result of misinformation. Remember to seek out experts and to be critical of your own biases while forming an opinion. Please see the humanity in each participant, and as always, we encourage empathy.
Okay, sensitive topics, empathy, let's go, bro.
You're equating some minor inconveniences in your privileged life to
why would you assume my life is privileged?
Unsupported.
But why would you assume my life is privileged, though? I mean, I don't say that about you. Why would you assume my life is privileged?
I'm privileged.
Okay, that's fine, but why would you assume my life is privileged?
I already don't like him. He's already annoying. He's, oh my god. This is gonna be a tough one, guys. This is gonna be a tough one.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
All right, let's go.
The government
So he stepped forward for no reason. Oh my god, I just want to smack him in the face. All right, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna chill out, bro. I'm gonna chill out. The government has no right to tell people what to do with their body. Oh god.
Tell people what to do with their body.
Agree. Highly agree, bro.
Vaccines.
Nobody has. I love how you mentioned vaccines and they was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Yo, all right, this is a W. Look at his mouth. Do you know what he did? You know what I'm saying? You know what he did, bro?
Yeah, I don't think the government has the right to tell you what you want to do with your... Sorry. Okay. I stood here because of vaccines, but I know a lot of you guys...
You're sitting, Nathan. You're literally sitting down, bro. But okay.
Like, oh, what about abortion? Now, the thing is, when it comes to abortion, two bodies are involved.
Stupidity.
It's the woman and it's the fetus. The fetus, you know, has a heartbeat, it has DNA. It should have rights.
When?
Life begins at conception.
That's not when the heart starts.
Heartbeat starts at 4 weeks. It's not just a clump of cells, it is life. At 21 weeks, it can live outside of the womb. Abortion ends with murder and death.
Over 90% of abortions happen within the first 10 weeks.
That's still, I think that's not acceptable.
But they still have the potential of having life, though. The mortality rate of a fetus getting aborted is 100%. It's going to die when it's aborted.
And you're very lucky you'll never have to experience what it's like to have to make that choice.
What if I become a father and, you know, the woman who I got pregnant wants to have an abortion? It's going to affect me.
You would have a discussion with your partner then and decide what you're going to do and be glad that you have a choice to even discuss with that partner.
Unfortunately, human nature, if you take away the option or the right to do that, then they'll find it another way.
And it will be unsafe.
And
exactly.
Would you support the mom? Would you support the mom in that scenario?
The mom had an abortion, or the mom?
No. If she gave birth.
Oh, of course, I would support her. I'd say what you do is a good thing. And
No. Support her financially for the rest of her life, or for the rest of the baby's life.
Are you talking about, like, what do you mean me support her? Like, as a citizen, or?
If somebody has a baby.
We do have child support, and it comes from taxpayer money.
There's foster care, there's adoption, there's mothers waiting.
Those systems are very broken, and people all the time are trying to stop funding for programs like that.
Now,
literally,
I want to ask you guys, do you support vaccine mandates?
Yes.
So I mean, you step forward and said the government shouldn't tell you what to do with your body, though. Why would you support?
My issue is that I believe that the government should not be able to tell me what to do with my body, but I have to accept the consequences for the choices that I make with my body. The vaccines, for instance, I absolutely felt that everyone should get vaccinated. Why? Because this was a pandemic. But if you don't want to, I don't think the government should have to tell you that you have to. But you then have to suffer the consequences of your choices, which means you cannot patronize certain places. You can't put other people at risk.
I know you're saying they're doing it to protect us, but the coronavirus has, I think, a survival rate almost 98%, 99%, and we're mandating these vaccines. Why are we not mandating the flu?
What's frightening to me is that you're equating some minor inconveniences in your privileged life to
why would you assume my life is privileged?
Unsupported.
But why would you assume my life is privileged, though? You don't know my life. I mean, I don't say that about you. Why would you assume my life is privileged?
Oh my god. I know I'm not saying anything, and it's really just because I'm trying not to get heated, bro. I think we're almost 4 minutes in, and my biggest problem with Nathan is bro is literally just like trying to throw up like words. Like he won't stop for a second and just listen, bro. He's missing the whole point of middle ground. You gotta hear people out. And he loves hearing himself talk. I can tell. I can literally tell the entire type of person he is based off of this one prompt and how he's responded to this one prompt, bro. I hope he doesn't step forward for any of the other ones. Not gonna lie.
I'm privileged.
Okay, that's fine, but why would you say my life is privileged?
For one, you're a man.
You know, most people commit suicide are men. Most people who work in dangerous workplaces are men. Most people who fight in war are men.
And who set that system up?
I'm gonna ask the Disagree to step
She
forward.
set him up, though. She set him up, though.
Perspective on this, because I actually do agree with the vaccine mandate.
Scott's son. That's his son? Okay.
And I think it could have ended a lot of.
Oh my God! Yeah, the way he looked at him.
A unique perspective on this, because I actually do agree with the vaccine mandate. I think COVID was just a huge disaster, and I think it could have ended a lot sooner.
She looked at him like, "What you about to say, bro? Don't embarrass me up here, yo." Scott is carrying, bro. Scott and Don are low key carrying, bro.
Things were.
Linda too. That was her name, right, Linda?
Definitely. As far as whether the government should intervene on people's bodies, I think there are a lot of instances where the government should. One, to protect the society in general, especially in cases such as a pandemic where the disease could literally wipe out cities. In other instances as well, such as drug use, I think the government should intervene, because when you have a society that's addicted to opioids or crack, it spreads like wildfire, and I've seen it firsthand. It's very difficult to control without the help of government. Now, on the topic of abortion, that one's very complex, and in general, I always want to favor a woman's right to choose. But I think there's also a very fundamental question that both of you brought up: is at what point is a fetus a human or a person? Let's say a child is 8 months in the womb, and at that point, the baby has a heart. The baby has a brain, has legs, has arms. Do you think it's okay for that to be terminated?
Nobody is doing that. And
yeah, that's the thing. Like, you literally can't do that. I feel like a lot of people bring up points that are like very anti-abortion. It's like, bro, it's literally not even valid though. You can't abort a baby at 8 months. Number one, it's literally risky for both of them at that point. Like, literally. Number two, I don't think the technology is even like able to do that, because it's like a football at that point, or however big it is, right? And it's like, yeah, we understand that that's morally wrong at that point, because someone's like this big, it's a whole thing in there. It's it's understandably messed up. But if there's something smaller than my PS4 controller, dog, I don't get it. And yet these are the same people that be saying this, be out in the woods killing deer, adult deer or baby deer, whatever it is, something that's literally bigger than them, elk. They be shooting rabbits, birds, all this stuff. They be going fishing all the time, literally snatching out lives from their habitat like it's nothing, and have no remorse at all. They don't feel any type of moral problem with it. It's just normal. And that's okay to do that. But God forbid a woman terminates something that's not even a baby yet. You shouldn't even be able to call it a baby for like 5 months. I'm not gonna lie. You shouldn't. Because it's not a baby yet. It's like it could be, but it's not yet. I'm gonna get real graphic here. People be masturbating, you know what I'm saying? Doing their thing, throwing it in the trash. That's not morally wrong. That's not morally wrong, bro. People be touching kids and over here worried about people, you know what I'm saying, getting aborted. Like, bro, what? It just makes no sense. They always bring up things that make no sense. And then when you bring up something that's actually morally wrong or actually a problem or justify how abortions are handled, then it's stupid, then it's wrong. Like, what, bro?
Is having abortions
I don't get
with
it.
viable fetuses unless it is a medical emergency that will kill the baby and the mother.
Literally, bro.
My name is Ben. I'm a business consultant for a telecom company, and I'm a liberal dad. When it comes to the abortion issue, I am not exactly sure where I stand. I am not pro-choice or pro-life.
My name is Dawn. I'm a regional sales manager for a dialysis company as well as a therapist, and I'm a liberal parent. As far as my views on abortion, to be honest, it just makes me very sad. I can't believe that we are moving backwards by taking people's rights away to choose what's happening to their body.
Not being an LGBTQ plus ally makes someone a bad person?
I disagree. As a very obvious member of the Alphabet Mafia, I think by default, it doesn't make someone a bad person. Like, you don't have to. Hold on, what's the quote? I gotta find the picture of homophobic dog. Hold on a second. What did you say, bro? That's not photos. Bro, this dog is hilarious. I cannot lie. Let's just hope it's a phase. Not homophobic, just don't agree with the lifestyle. Like, that's a crazy statement, and I don't agree with it. However, some people just really don't rock with gays, and that's okay. Because as long as you're not doing something to hurt people or take away their rights or undermine that they exist, it's okay. If you're doing any of those things, then yeah, you're a bad person. But like, if you're coexisting with people that you don't like, and it's not in a violent way or harmful way or whatever, and you don't see them as less than, do it, bro. Because guess what? You literally aren't affecting anybody at that point. It's fine. Like, that's how I feel about everything when it comes to, you know, the LGBTQIA and, you know, even in some ways discrimination. Like, you don't have to like everybody from Lithuania. As long as you're not going there and hurting people or finding people that are Lithuanian and blowing up their church or something stupid like that. Like, I feel like as long as you're just being cool, you don't have to agree with it. That's fine, bro. That's how I see it, bro. And that's how I was like, just like people that don't like ketchup. I personally think that's weird, but I'm not gonna go punch somebody that don't like ketchup, bro. Just don't like ketchup over there. Don't do that over here, because we like ketchup over here. But you can do that over there, and that's cool. I'll shake your hand when I meet you. But like, no, because I just don't agree with that. But that's fine. You know, I ain't gonna do nothing to hurt you. You ain't gonna do nothing to hurt me. We cool. That's how it should be with everything, bro. So I don't agree with this, actually. I really don't. I think they can be a bad person, and more people that aren't allies are more inclined to be bad people. But the same way, there's plenty of gay people that suck, that are terrible people, like horrible people. Tell us with anything, you know. So
it's strong.
It's a general way to put it. I would question someone's empathy.
That's it.
And their awareness of the other people around them, because I guarantee you know someone that's
absolutely, and their environment.
Right.
Yeah.
Discussing the validity of the existence of other human beings isn't a political issue. That's like,
it's there.
There's something wrong with you if you like, no, trans people don't exist.
Yeah,
obviously
that's
they
weird.
did.
Yo, oh my god. Okay, really quick detour. Bro, I swear I do not, and I will never understand how Texas functions. That's not it. Alright, I don't see a video on it now, but I swear I don't get how this happens. It's been, I believe today is 2 weeks since the shooting in Uvalde, right? 19 kids and 2 adults were literally brutally murdered in a school due to gun violence and whatever else is a problem. I don't feel like naming everything right now, right? Texas has done nothing but avoid taking accountability and blaming everything under the sun that has nothing to do with anything. Tell me why they're banning drag shows now or something along the lines of that because of a kid-friendly drag show that happened like 2 days ago. Like, what, bro? What does that have to do with anything right now? In general, but especially right now. Like people got murdered, bro. This thing that y'all claim to hate, whenever it's black on black violence or black on white violence or whatever, you turn a blind eye when it's a cop killing somebody. But you hate murder. It's not Christ-like. But God forbid somebody gets all dolled up and performs on stage in an art form for children or anybody else for that matter. That's your biggest fear. Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. I just don't get how these people function, bro. Like, how do you wake up, they probably don't even brush their teeth, bro. But how are you surviving as a human being like this? Like, they really eating, looking at themselves in the mirror, probably not, interacting with people and thinking like this. I actually don't understand. Like, I genuinely don't get how they can function in society in any way. How does it make sense? I don't know, bro.
Ew. I would
That's
like
me
to
thinking
think that it's a safer world
Yes.
to be LGBTQ, but that
Yes.
would be naive.
Of course.
People are getting murdered.
Yeah, dude. People are, and that's another thing too, bro. Like, a lot of people are mad at press just for being gay, like, or being trans. Like, I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. 1 in 4 of those murdered were killed in their own home. I didn't even know that, bro. 9 and 10, 96 murdered globally with trans women, bro. Trans feminine people. Like, come on, dog. And y'all over here worried about drag shows, bro? Like, but I can almost guarantee, and it's gonna sound crazy, Twitch, this is just, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. But I can almost guarantee all these people that are highly against this be touching little boys, bro. I can almost guarantee that. You can look at the facts, bro, and I'm not gonna say nothing gonna come out now or what, but I can almost guarantee you, bro, a lot of the people on the forefront of this in 5, 10, 15, maybe 20, 30 years, a grown man gonna come out and be like, he did stuff that he should not have done to me when I was a child, bro. And they gonna be the same person that was trying to, you know, like, I don't get it, dude. I just don't get it.
For being trans, you know?
Yes.
And,
Stupid, bro.
And gay. It's
So
scary.
stupid.
I have 3 kids. I have 3 boys. One of them is trans. I worry that, I mean, for however progressive a new generation seems, that, you know, I have to think about, will there be violence done? Which, I mean, every parent worries about violence. That's part of the gig of being a parent.
Yes.
It's just there's a higher amount of worry with certain situations. It's horrible,
I've got a
dog.
new layer.
It's horrible, dog.
My child is in a wonderfully privileged situation where they have a lot of support.
Okay, that helps.
But as they get older, their circle gets wider, and my sphere of influence gets less effective as they get older, you know?
It's real, bro.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
Cindy,
I am a
not Linda, my
stay-at-home
bad.
mom,
My bad,
and
Cindy.
I am a liberal parent. One of my children
carrying.
came out as trans 2 years ago. Mine
Real.
and my husband's response was, that's great. Would you like to go by these pronouns? And would
We
you
gonna clap
like
it. It was
to
good,
pick
Limi.
out a name?
I gotta clap it up for Cindy, man. Real quick. W human, bro. I have to, man. Shout out to Cindy,
Let's,
bro. The drip,
make sure that-
the drip not hitting like that, but it is what it is. We can't all be lucky. All right, you see me with the Dunder Mifflin on today. You know what I'm saying? A little something light, bro. But yeah.
Talk to a gender specialist so we know what
I'll style her,
options
don't worry
there
about it.
are, and we'll just take this one step at a time. We'll move forward with the best information possible.
That's how it
Can you
should
disagree
be.
a step forward?
Here we go. Okay, so I feel like a lot of these people are gonna have valid points, so I probably won't be talking much. But like, actually, wait, I disagreed too. Oh wait, I disagreed. So they had valid points, but I feel like I'm gonna agree with a lot of these people. All
I can
right.
provide a unique perspective on this because I'm actually bisexual.
Okay.
So I think not being an ally, as long as you're not harming people, you're not harassing people, you're not posting on social media that these people suck, then I don't think you're a bad person.
Okay, W take. He definitely saved himself from that last take, because that last take was a little crazy. But he saved himself, man. We on the same wavelength. We get it. I don't need to hear anyone
I
else
don't
talk.
think that being LGBTQ aligns with God's view
All right,
of
man.
family. It doesn't mean that I will disrespect them in any way.
That's
I
real.
just think that it's a sin.
As far as your faith is concerned,
Okay.
what would happen if your child came out to you that they were gay, bisexual, trans?
I think that if the sin is not practiced upon, it's not a problem. It can be dealt with, especially with transitioning. It usually comes from mental problems like depression, anxiety, and all those things.
So you think they can be...
Okay, man. See, I understand the disclaimer. It's misinformation. I get it. But I still can't believe people seriously think that, bro. Like, still. Oh man. Yikes.
To not be gay?
No, I think
The gay way.
Do you support conversion therapy?
no, I don't think that we can convert anyone into doing anything. I would not ostracize my child, but I would not support it. Just like I don't support any sin.
So
Wow, that's crazy. She could definitely be recruited into a cult extremely easily. I mean, she kind of already has. But like, I'm just saying, like, Midsummer is up, bro. Don't let her go to Europe. She not coming back. Yikes. It's okay though. Misinformation, it hurts. It does. It hurts people, bro, and it hurts their thought process. But like, she can be saved though. That's all I'm saying. She can be saved. And there's nothing wrong with loving God and, you know, believing in the Bible 100%. Well, there's a lot wrong with believing in the Bible 100% because it wasn't meant to be believed 100%. But there's nothing wrong with religion is what I'm saying, right? I believe in God. I love God. But like, dog, come on, man. Come on, man.
If you want to be transgender, you could be transgender. We live in again, like I said, a free nation. But if you're asking for my opinion, I believe that men and women are completely different. We have different chromosomes, different bone structure. If you're a transgender woman, I still view you as a man. You could, express yourself as a woman. That's fine. But I don't believe that society should automatically, say that, okay, you're a woman. Let's say, for instance, there's a 18-year-old biological man, but says that they are a woman now. They still have male genitalia. They could walk into a woman's locker room and show off their male genitalia. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's okay.
That's a fear that a lot of people have, yet I don't think I've ever seen or heard of something like that happening. In the last 20 years. That probably happened in the 80s, but a lot of weird stuff happened in the 80s, so like, come on. But like, I'm talking about now. Like, last 20 years minimum. When has that happened? Like, how is that actually, like, genuinely a fear, bro? I don't get that, dog. I literally don't get it. I feel like I was gonna have another point before you said that. I ain't going back, though.
That's not happening.
It is happening, though.
Is it really happening?
That is literally.
We're already 21 minutes in. Well, no, we're 22 minutes into the recording. And we're only 10 minutes into the video. I'm trying not to pause so much. I am.
It could happen, though.
It's rare, though, but...
not even a trans. It could just be a creepy guy, like, pretending to be...
Yes, creepy guys are... I'm in much more danger in a women's restroom from a cisgender, straight, creepy guy.
I know, but
than I am a trans
the
person.
excuse, that's what I'm trying to say.
So do you support gender-neutral bathrooms, like women and men can go into the same bathroom? Do you think that could increase the chances of rape or assault?
They already exist.
Exactly. That's not really doing much. That's like saying if there's like less streetlights, that more robberies are gonna happen, or more streetlights, less are gonna happen. Like, no. More cameras, no. Weird people and criminals don't care about stuff like that, bro. They're weird, they're sick in the head, and they're gonna do whatever they want to, wherever, whenever. Like, that's not a valid argument. It's literally not. Because if you look at it from the broadest way possible, the law. People don't care about the law, bro. They literally break laws all the time. That's why we have to have a judiciary system, so that when people break the law, we can handle it. That is such an invalid argument. Like, so invalid, bro. That's beyond invalid. I feel like I didn't even hear it. It's that bad.
Interesting that men are only concerned about this rape in the bathroom when we're having a conversation about trans folk.
Seriously.
But gender-neutral bathrooms just stem from this idea, though.
No, this idea that rape is going to suddenly go on the rise because of gender-neutral bathrooms stems from...
Hold on a second. I gotta look up some stats real quick. I have to... Oops. Let's see something. No. Wait. Oh, this is Wikipedia. I feel like an English teacher now, bro. I don't really trust this. It's not a credible source. Nope. Okay, I can't wait. Hold on. Is this good stats? Yikes. That's a terrifying percentage. Okay, this is way too deep. I'll figure this out some other time. Probably the next time this conversation comes up, I'll have the stats I need. Did somebody say stats? As I have glasses on? Yikes. Yikes, man. Here we go. This clown, bro.
I'm 16 years old and I'm on the conservative
16, you should look 27, bro.
I think that transitioning does more harm than good. And I think that we are born in the body that we're given and we should stay that way. God has created us in his image and I don't think we should change the way we are.
I need to find this meme real quick. Where is it? Oh, come on, I can't find it. This is why I hate looking for memes when I'm trying to stream, bro. I need to just like have a folder of these ready. But basically, okay. Feel how you want, man. With a name like Eden too, yikes, bro. I feel bad for her. She just grew up in a bad situation. She grew up in a really bad situation. Owning a gun is a basic human right. I don't think it's a basic human right, but it is something that is like a human right, but not basic though. A basic human right is like being able to live how you want in like a safe way, pretty much, and like eating and like living somewhere. Those are basic human rights. Owning a gun is not a basic human right, but I'm thinking on like a deep down, you know what I mean? Like, what do you need type level? Oh, wait. Kid Cudi announced a new song. Hold on, is the album coming out? Ooh, it's the beginning. Oh, Intergalactic. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy Intergalactic is coming out. All right. Anyways, back on topic.
It's a basic human right.
Of course. Oh man, yikes.
I absolutely hate hearing about school shootings on the news and just shootings in general.
This one is so long that I doubt. You know what? Just for you, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna just let it play out.
You know,
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna restrain myself.
Spider-Man's not gonna save people. People have the right to protect themselves.
A lot of mass shooters target gun-free zones because they know there's not going to be a person who's going to fight against them or shoot them back. There's a lot of mass shootings at schools, and that's because schools have gun-free zones. I view owning a gun as a right to defend myself. You look at countries that have banned guns in the past, the USSR, Nazi Germany, you look at China under Mao Zedong, they stripped their citizens of arms so they could oppress them. And I think the reason why our founding fathers enshrined the Second Amendment is because they wanted us to protect ourselves against tyrannical government and to protect ourselves against danger around us too.
I think that from a woman's perspective, if as a woman you get into a dangerous situation, for example with a man, having a gun and knowing how to use a gun is the only way that will protect me. Having my tiny little pepper
literally, bruh. Literally.
Forever. I think definitely if you take away guns, the bad guys will always get their guns one way or another.
I live in Los Angeles, and LA has strict gun control laws.
Let's, and I'm doing this based off of my information that I already had prior to this, right? List of countries in which civilian gun ownership is illegal. Brunei, haven't ever heard of a massacre happening there. Cambodia. Yeah, some stuff be going on, but it's usually like militias and, you know, anti-government people. So, like, I don't really think that counts, but, like, it does count. Like, I'm talking, like, on a civilian level, like, normal people, right? Comoros, never heard anything happening. I feel like I've never even heard of there, bro. Eritrea, nothing. Fiji, nothing but water, bro. Guinea, nothing. The Maldives, nothing. Marshall Islands, Myanmar. I mean, of course, bad stuff happens in North Korea, but we don't know about it. Palau, Somalia, Vatican City, like, nothing happens here, bro. Nothing happens here. I'm not saying crimes don't happen, but I'm talking about insane crimes, like genuinely horrible crimes done against large amounts of people every year. Nothing happens. Why do you think that is? There's nothing to enable that type of behavior, man. There's literally nothing to enable that type of behavior. Now, of course, banning guns is not always the smartest thing to do. Guns have been banned in New York since what? The 70s, and there's literally a shooting every day, multiple. Sometimes there's hundreds of shootings every weekend. Depending on the weekend, there can be hundreds, right? I understand that. I don't think guns should be banned in any way, shape, or form. I don't think so. But I don't think people should have access to guns the way that they do now, right? Because even if you look at Britain, bro, people have guns every now and then. They don't have AKs. They don't have AR-15s. They don't walk around. They don't go hunting like we do here. They don't do any of that stupid stuff. They knife people, which is low-key even scarier than being shot. But people find ways around certain things if they really want to commit crimes, right? So it's not like banning guns is going to do much, but it still does way less. There's way less mass shootings in England. There's way less, crazy stuff like that happening there because they don't tolerate that type of stuff. The US, as much as they hate to admit it, they tolerate it, bro. They let these Jesus freaks go places and hurt large amounts of people, ruin families, literally change the course of people's lives forever. And the US makes a whole big deal about it for a few days. In some cases, like Uvalde, they make a big deal about it for a few weeks. And either something else is going to happen or they're going to forget about it and nothing's going to change. And then it's going to happen again. That's the problem, bro. And I just realized I said I wasn't gonna say anything. Yikes, dude. I realized I went off for like 5 minutes and yeah. Okay. I'm not good at restraint, I guess, then.
This is my perspective of it. I think LA
Yikes, dude.
Yikes. I feel very unsafe walking down the street. Just
I can't.
Crime is on the rise in
Because I don't tolerate stupidity. I can't. Because I'm not stupid. I hate to sound like that guy, but I can't deal with it. When someone's stupid, I'm gonna point it out. I am. When someone has a bad take, I'm gonna point it out. When someone says something I don't agree with, I'm gonna point it out. That's just how it is, because it's so dumb. Bro, what? How can you possibly think like that when there's so much evidence against your point, bro? There might be some for your point, but there's evidence for any point, for the most part. But when you have so much against, how can you still think that this is the right way and a basic human right? What, bro?
The way to stop crime is by owning a gun.
I definitely think that there should be this control in place to who buys guns. You couldn't just be able to go.
See, no, I do agree with that. There's two things that I feel like I agree with when it comes to guns. Number one, it should be way, way, way harder to buy any gun, but especially difficult to buy any type of semi-automatic or automatic rifle. Especially difficult. You shouldn't be able to just buy a gun anyways. Of course, there's going to be, arms dealers that are going to deal guns on the street and whatever, but it'll be significantly less crime still than... I'm about to turn 18 in 2 weeks. Legally, I can go to a store with my ID, get a concealed... Probably, I don't think you can get a concealed carry for rifles, but I can get a gun license and buy a gun that's bigger than me, legally, for sport. That's so weird, bro. I still watch cartoons. Literally. That makes no sense. I don't get it. Why is that okay? Why is that okay? Yet you have to get psychologically evaluated to get a vasectomy if you don't have kids. What? And I know that was so off topic, but it's the first thing that popped into my head. Literally. I just don't get it. It should be way harder to get guns. But also, with that being said, though, I do think gun safety is something that should be taken way more seriously and taught from a very early age. I'm not saying we need 4-year-olds in gun classes, but they should at least be taught the safety of them and how to, navigate them and the damage that they can do. Because guess what? They teach us about everything else. They literally teach us about germs. They teach us about volcanoes and natural disasters and... I learned about Martin Luther King literally getting shot at a motel in first grade in 2011. I learned about people getting murdered in Mesopotamia or something from an early age. That's deemed as normal. That's okay. But God forbid they teach me about guns, bro. It makes no sense. I literally don't get it. But it should be way harder to get guns, and people should be taught about gun safety way much earlier, and I can almost guarantee way less crime would happen. It would still happen, but anything is going to happen because people are unhinged and weird.
To a store and buy a gun, there should be regulations into who buys guns. who shoots a gun.
Here comes the W takes.
I actually debated whether or not I was going to sit down because I do believe people have the right to bear arms. I do. My issue is what kind of arms they're bearing.
Yep.
I believe people should get to go hunt, but do you need a semi-automatic rifle to do that?
You literally don't.
I'll tell you, personally, I'm afraid of guns personally myself.
I think too, it's like inhumane most of the time, in most situations, to like shoot an animal. Like I'm like with a gun, I'm like a bullet. Like yes, it is quicker and they die much faster in some ways, but like it's very inhumane. I do think that it should be, you know, more limited to like crossbows, which some people that actually hunt and do all that would probably say that's worse and they die slower and whatever, they're in pain and all that. But like, dude, you're out here literally shooting animals with guns just in their home. Like you're literally going into an animal's house and killing them. And the worst part is, a lot of people don't even be eating them, bro. They just kill them and leave them there. They take a picture over their dead body, post it on the gram or Truth Social or whatever they're posting on, and just leave it there, bro. Literally, and don't even get me started on poachers. But like, dude, how is that fun? How is that legal? I don't get it. If you're doing this to actually eat them and survive and take care of your family, okay, it is what it is. How am I going to tell you not to do that? You got to live, right? But like, dude, come on, bro. There's no need to be out there with a 50 cal shooting at rabbits, bro. Or birds in the sky, shooting them at, like, come on, man.
I just think there need to be stricter regulations with it.
But the majority of people who die by gunshot are women in a domestic violence situation. So mass shootings definitely don't want automatic rifles. Against that, nobody needs them. But the most dangerous gun is the one in your home.
I do want to ask you a question.
That's another thing too, though, and that's what I said about gun safety, because I feel like if people understood gun safety, then it would be easier to reduce stuff like that from happening. Because that's another thing too, defense. People need to be taught defense more, especially women. I think women should, like, all women should have guns, bro. Even if it's like a little baby Glock, a little something, you know, whatever. Like, I'm tired of people walking around with pepper spray. Like, I get it, it makes you feel safe, you can handle it easily, whatever. But if someone's really that unhinged and that crazy, literally, it's not gonna slow them down, bro. Like, have you watched any superhero movie? A lot of people that are like, that have one thing in mind, nothing else matters. They can't really feel anything else. So pepper spray ain't gonna do much. You can really slow someone down and probably disable them if you shoot them in the knee or something. I'm not gonna lie, bro. And I'm not condoning violence in any way, by the way. Twitch, all that, you know. But like, let's really think about it here. If we're being real, if people were taught defense tactics and, you know, how to disarm people or whatever, and then also gun safety, and they were armed, imagine how much other crime would just not happen. Domestic violence, I can almost guarantee assaults wouldn't happen as much, you know, like all that stuff, bro. It wouldn't disappear, but like it would be way less, because the numbers are insanely high. I couldn't find them, but like I know that they're high. Like, come on, dude.
Do you think that women should have the right to bear arms to protect themselves against?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I'm
bro.
not against the right to own guns. The prompt was, do you think owning a gun is a human right?
But do you think?
And I don't agree.
I don't think it's a basic human right at all. It's a human right, but not a basic human right. Like I said, I think basic human rights are like eating, being able to, you know, provide for your family, like the right to having a job and like making money. Since we live in this capitalistic society, like everyone should be able to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's weird that people look down on convicted felons and like don't hire them at certain places, even for non-violent offenses. Like violent offenses, I get it, but like non-violent offenses, like, come on, bro. He had an ounce of coke on him that he wasn't even gonna sell or something, whatever. I don't know. Like, come on, bro. Let the man work at Walmart or something, right? Like, you don't have to hire him at like, what's the name of the law firm from Better Call Saul? Whatever it's called, bro. Like, you know, you don't gotta work there, but like, come on, man. Don't kick bro out. It's weird, dude.
Riddled neighborhood. I myself am a gun owner now because of the fact that I had to create some type of means of self-defense.
So why did you disagree?
I disagreed because I would prefer not to be. I think it's not a human right as much as almost a necessity for a lot of people. And
Exactly.
Not everyone. There's a lot of neighborhoods that are very safe, but even in a safe neighborhood,
you never know.
You can be robbed, you can be killed.
You literally never know. A lot of the craziest stuff happens in gated communities and in safe neighborhoods. Like the craziest stuff you hear about. I'm not talking about petty theft and home invasions all the time and, you know what I'm saying, little stuff like that. But I'm talking about like insane, diabolical deeds that people be doing and like really weird, demented stuff happens in gated communities and nice neighborhoods and safe neighborhoods. And oh my God, we pay so much for the HOA and all this stuff. Well, there's like someone, you know, doing crazy like Resident Evil stuff in their basement if they have one, you know?
Up several times
He's
with a gun
spitting
to
right
my
now.
face, you know, and all I could think of is, man, if I die, it's gonna be because I didn't have a weapon to help protect me.
In the words of the rap goat Playboy Cardi, aka Sir Cartier, aka Cash Cardi, rather get caught with it than without it. No lie.
I think that we should take away all guns from the entire world.
Yes, if there was like a magnet, like Magneto from X-Men, and he just suck up all the guns.
If there was a way to get rid of all guns and all knowledge of how to make guns and stuff like that, and someone had the power to push a button to do that in a second, I would literally press them for hours to press that button if they wouldn't themselves. No lie. Because like so much bad stuff would disappear. And it's not like that's like a lot of people would probably think of like the craziest scenario, like what if Godzilla comes out of the ocean and starts killing people? Then what are we gonna do? Have you seen Godzilla, bro? Bullets don't do anything. They literally barely pierce his skin. They're minor scratches, bro. They don't do anything. Like a tank is not gonna help you against a massive sea monster. You know? Have any of y'all seen Planet of the Apes? Once animals with thumbs get guns, it's over for us. It's over. Like, we're done. We're literally done for, bro. Like, come on, man.
My political opinions have hurt my relationships with friends and family.
Not personally. I feel like I respect some people less. But, you know, it is what it is. You don't have to respect everybody on the same level, so that's real. But, yeah.
During 2020, when America got really like politically intense, and my teacher, she was very politically active, and she wanted us to speak our voices, and they found I was conservative, and they said, okay, you're completely going against what we believe. Like the whole school is very liberal, and I guess they just kind of pushed me away.
Did you feel like you
That's
get
valid.
bullied? No.
And I don't mean like that's valid, like they should have done that. I mean that's valid, like that happened. Just so y'all know. I'm not for bullying and outcasting people and exiling people and whatever, but like isolating people, like I'm not for that. But like that's valid though. It'd be like that.
You just get looks. Some people come up and say you're a racist or you're xenophobic. They would tell me, oh, do you support Trump? But I just brushed it off. I told them, hey, I respect that you think like this. Please respect me.
I think that is...
That's real. I can understand that on a surface level, like generalized statement. After hearing some of his takes, I definitely would not have talked to him in school at all. Like I would have hated to get paired up with him for like a project or something. But, I wasn't going to stuff bro in a locker. That's for sure. But like, if I didn't hear all this stuff, bro probably would have been cool, for the most part. He probably would have said some bad jokes. But like, what are you going to do?
Whether or not we have the same ideas, I think that is still an admirable quality.
Yeah.
Despite getting looks or feeling like maybe you don't belong, that you're still, you have your convictions. Yeah. So I can respect that you're convicted.
For sure. I have respect for him as a human being, but pretty much no further. And that's just how it is with most people that are, have such, like, they're so wrong and strong about a lot of things like that. Like, yeah, bro, you deserve pretty much everything every other human deserves. No, you deserve everything every other sane human deserves. And insane, too, as long as you're not hurting people for real. But, like, dog, you not coming to the cookout. You not coming to the cookout. You not coming to see Morbius with me. No, I'm just playing. I'm not watching Morbius, but still.
Being liberal, we think of the right as being stuck in the sand. It's interesting to hear that liberals were not having his right opinion. I think that everyone should have their opinion.
Well, I think we're talking about issues that aren't a matter of opinion, but a matter of your morality, the value of human lives. I've had to personally block a few people on Facebook, family members, mostly men that are married to the women in my family. Like, hey, this conversation is really getting personal and hurtful, and if you carry on this way, I'm going to have to block you.
Were they harassing you?
I feel very harassed, yeah, and belittled.
Were you ostracized, or was there someone that you...
I think on my end, it was myself. I understand people have different beliefs, and I respect that. And I think it's good for everyone to share their beliefs.
Yeah.
That's the way we progress. But I think when people become ignorant or offensive consistently without any type of evidence or any type of backup behind that, that's the point where I say, you know what?
That's when it gets weird, bro.
I shouldn't be friends with you because you may smile in my face, but behind my back, you have a different sentiment.
Very, very real, bro.
I haven't lost any relationships because me and my friends don't really dive into politics. We kind of just play video games.
That's how it should be. Honestly, bro, that's how it should be. Like, I can't stand people that are like 14, 15, 16, 17, like middle of high school type age, and all they care about and all they want to talk about is politics. Number one, you literally are too young to even be a politician, bro. Like, good on you for practicing this early. You might get a little bit further ahead in the polls, but like, I can guarantee nobody cares. Like, all we're trying to talk about right now is this new Vince Staples album and what happened at the NBA Finals game. That's it, bro. That's literally it, bro. Like, come on. But like, I do think it's important to acknowledge certain things at certain times. Like, there's a time and place for literally everything, and I feel like most friend groups and like most social situations, when you're a teenager, politics should not be in any time or place. Like, it's just not there unless it's like something crazy that just has to be talked about. Like if it's an elephant in the room. A lot of people be getting so heated and so invested in the smallest things, bro. Like, literally, it's weird. I don't get it. Not even moral issues, like just like normal political issues. They be getting so, like, I have nothing but respect for Greta, whatever her name is, for pressing the UN about climate change. But like, dog, did she go to prom? Like, did she watch Stranger Things? Like, I wonder about that. Like, what's her social life really looking like? You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's weird. But like, shout out to her though. She real. She OG.
I think if you lose a relationship over politics, that's kind of sad.
Unfortunately,
it is sad.
Part of growing up.
Happened though. Yeah, it happens.
You won't lose any friends, but usually as you get older, start to see those divides a little clearer.
I mean, you guys are older than us.
One thing too, though, once people start having kids, they start acting different. They start thinking differently because they have kids, obviously, which is how it should be. A lot of people don't start thinking differently when they have kids, and they're still. It's mostly people that peaked in high school, right? But like, I think it's necessary for that to happen, but still, it is sad when people like completely like lose friendships over stuff like that. Like, but I mean, that kind of that's human nature though, now that I think about it. That goes back to like, you know, early like elementary school days. This never personally happened to me, but I can imagine that people stop being friends with some of their friends because they didn't watch Phineas and Ferb, or because they didn't like My Little Pony, or they didn't like Pokemon. Like, I can almost guarantee that they did not stay friends, or they didn't, you know, really get close because of that. And that is probably led to a bunch of missed opportunities when it comes to friendships and stuff. Like, I can almost guarantee that. But, you know, that's how it is, dude.
Was it like this going back 20 years ago?
Politics has changed so much, and I think you touched on it, that now it's being associated, policy is being associated with ethics. I haven't lost any friendships or relationships because I won't allow that to happen. I believe that the majority of us, probably about 80%, are in the middle with varying degrees. And there are those people who are very, very conservative, very, very ultra-liberal, who are the outliers.
I personally don't really respect anybody on either of those sides that are like really far. Like, if you're straight up liberal and like you don't, and I've said this several times, like, you don't, you know, think about the other side, or like whatever, like you're mad disrespect, like that's weird. And same with the right, bro. Same with the right. Like, again, we should be able to coexist. But like, she's spitting though. A lot of people are pretty much in the middle. Most people are. Like, I'm more left leaning, but I still have some conservative things that I agree with, like guns, I guess. That's probably like one of them.
I think it's subtle. Where you have somebody that you meet with on a regular basis, you talk with them, you have a good time. If topics get brought up, and it's a oh, okay, you're one of those. They don't tell you that to your face, but it's kind of subtle.
Also, I think with the prevalence of social media, people's opinions are a lot more out there.
Yeah,
I never
that
understood
too.
why anyone posted political opinions on social media. I think it's just annoying.
Well, I have 3 kids. They know more about politics than I did when I was of voting age.
It's annoying, yeah.
I I think it's very encouraging.
I think it's necessary, but it is annoying. I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna lie. With certain things, I'm that guy. I will repost the thing on my story, whatever it is. I will. The infographic, I will. Yes, it doesn't do much, but still, it's like informative, right? People need to know this stuff. It's like, I get it. But I don't get people that literally dedicate their whole social media presence and their pretty much their whole life to being political and all. Like, I don't get it, bro. Most of my story is just reposting music stuff or memes with music on it, or just me being in a silly, goofy mood. Like, that's what social media should be. That's what it should go back to. Its roots of just being weird and doing weird things and, you know, being funny. That's what it should be. But, like, it's necessary. It is annoying, but it's necessary.
Because they're going to be more informed when they are.
Oh, it's a 50-minute video.
I mean, yeah, it makes life more divisive. I mean, there's more arguments and stuff, and more relationships ending because politics is such a big part of life.
But it's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen regardless. It's done.
I am a liberal parent. I have many children. I have 4. My oldest daughter is extremely left-wing. My 2 middle daughters are roughly right in the middle there. And then Chase is conservative.
My name is Chase. I'm 19 years old, and I'm on the conservative teen side. My dad's Scott. We talk about politics, mostly gun rights and the government in the economy. We disagree, but we like hearing each other's side.
The feminist
That's how it should be.
Is overrated.
Okay, real quick. Oh, I'm so glad this is a short one. Okay, so look, as much as I love to play We Cry Together, I am a proud feminist. All right, feel about it how you will. I don't care. Now, when I say this, I mean it in the truest, rawest, purest form of being a feminist. Equality for all humans. Now, when we're getting to the toxic femininity type thing that we have going on with I hate men and they shouldn't be, like cancel them and don't have babies and bone marrow babies and all this stuff like that, I will never agree with. And I think it's very overrated. And in that case, that's the only time I will ever claim being a men's rights activist. The only time. Because people, and they be the same people that be talking about humanity and how much being nice matters, yet they will, like, belittle men to the highest degree. Just because. Except for trans men, which is, in my opinion, is a little bit transphobic. Because it's like, do you really see them as men if you're, like, weird? But whatever, right? So for the sake of the prompt, I'm gonna say no. It's not overrated. It's actually underrated. Everybody should be a feminist. Actually, I don't have that shirt that says we should all be feminists. I have one that says why be transphobic and homophobic and whatever else if you could just be quiet. I need to get the one that says we should be all feminists. But like, I can understand probably why some people will say yes, only because of the toxicity. There's like a weird little faction of people that claim to be feminists when they're really not. They're like radical feminists. That's what it is. Radical feminists. I don't agree with those people, bro. They're weird. But that's how it is with any type of, belief in supremacy. Like, nobody's better than the next overall. Like, we're all humans, bro. Chill out. I probably won't pause here. Okay.
The reason I sat down is because feminism as we know it in social media and the marches is generally run by white women. And
that too, bro. And honestly, I'm not that guy to be like white women shouldn't talk about it, because like everybody should be included in this stuff, right? They are human rights issues. We're all human, right? But I do find it a little weird and interesting that most of the time, like when you think feminist, you think of a white woman with short hair, with no shirt. There's like the free the nipple movement also, but like a gun and like, some cargo shorts and some Timbs on. Like low key, that's what you imagine when you think feminist. At least that's what I imagine when I think feminist. It's either that or like a businesswoman that's making a lot of money and not scamming people and like driving a Bugatti. That's hard. That's a real feminist right there. You know what I'm saying? She's doing it big on God. But like, it is kind of weird that like is ran by, you know, white women with short hair. Like, shout out to short hair though. Like, honestly, do you? It's fire, but like, it's weird. It is weird. I never think about that, but it's the truth though. I'm telling you, bro, Cindy is carrying, bro.
We don't have a lot of intersectionality. Margaret Sanger, yeah, and Susan B. Anthony, you know, total racist. The women
Can't stand
that
them.
headed up the suffragette movement, they were not inclusive.
Of course, yes.
They wanted rights for white women.
Yep.
And that thread has followed us to be very exclusionary
Very
to
true.
black women, disabled women, women of color,
Very
indigenous
true.
women.
Gay women. Well, then again, a lot of, I wouldn't say gay women actually, because like I said, you know, a lot of them are the men haters, so you can imagine. But she ain't wrong, bro. She is not wrong here.
Is based off racism. The reason why there's more white feminists is because there's a higher white population in America. So generally, there's going to be more white feminists because of that.
I think that definitely in the beginning of feminism, feminists wanted votes for women, that women would be allowed to work, would be allowed to go to universities and such. I definitely agree with that, but I think that feminism has gone too far into saying my body, my choice, and saying that women are not all equal, saying that women are being suppressed by white men and such things.
Yikes, bro. She needs better guidance. I'm sorry to say it. Shout out to her and her parents, because obviously they did a decent job. She's a living, breathing human that's probably mostly healthy, I would imagine. But like, you never know. But like, dude, are we being real here? Come on, man. Come on, bro. It's short. I'm gonna let it be.
No.
I'm gonna let it be.
We got a long way to go. There's just not enough done.
In America or just in the world in general?
Well, America, for sure.
Especially America, because they claim to be so cool, but they're really not. But the world in general has so far to go, bro. So far. And I don't get how we've let it come this far and still the same. Like, what, bro? I don't get it. I don't get it. But like, yeah, especially America.
The world in general is a heck of a lot worse than America.
I agree with you.
I think
Very
that
valid.
women should be able to do everything that men can, but we also have to protect ourselves. So if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and do one of the hardest jobs on the planet, you absolutely should be able to do that. But you should also discuss with your partner and put in things into place so that you're protected if you choose to do that. Some women are doing that, like life insurance and things like that. I think part of feminism is being able to take care of yourself.
Capitalism is failing our society.
Yeah, you already know how I feel about capitalism. I'm trying not to speak on it at all. I'm trying so hard. This is already an hour long. Oh my god.
System that just values production, consumerism until you die. Doesn't work for anybody but a very, very, very small percentage of billionaires, and it's all baloney. The system is rigged to keep workers working, and the rich just keep getting richer.
Yeah, I think there could be some good in capitalism.
And I think when it comes to capitalism, I wasn't going to speak on it, I'm sorry, but I have to. I think my main problem with capitalism is it's not a fair game. I'm not mad at the game entirely. It would be a lot better off if it didn't exist, but at the same time, I think it's messed up that it's not a fair game at all. Like, it kind of just goes back to how you started off, like when the game first came out, and that's it. Like, if you start playing late, you can literally equate life to Fortnite, and I hate that, but like, the people that pay to win because they start off better off, and they're just better at the game. They can, handle themselves. If you start playing right now, you're gonna be garbage. There's a slight chance that you can make it and be like a level 300 or whatever and be the best player in the game, but it's much smaller than most people, and that's just because you started late and you didn't start off the same way that they did. And that's how it is with capitalism. Rich people that start off rich, most of the time, end up in better situations. Now, there is a saying that's like, hard times create successful people or whatever. Successful people create whatever you know what it is, bro. You know what it is. Basically, it's like the same energy as Solange's son rapping about feds doing a sweep and stuff like that when he's literally a trust fund baby. Like, literally. So, like, he's gonna create hard times and his kids might end up being in poverty, but like, bound to happen, right? But like, still though, I feel like capitalism would work so much better, and we'd be so much better off. Inflation would be less of a problem if it was a fair game. Like, and that's kind of why, in some ways, communism could work a little bit. A little bit. People just aren't open to it because they're terrified for some reason because of bad examples of communism, but it could work. If it's set up perfectly for, in true fairness, with no type of hierarchy and no type of, you know, dictatorship or, what's the word I'm looking for, bro? Oppressive nature, it could work. It could work.
Which is like the innovation part of it. But in general, capitalism definitely sucks from the poor. There's a lot of industries that definitely shouldn't have any capitalism involved at all.
Yep.
In the medical field, it's unjust that certain people get better care than other people just
Literally.
because they're more financial.
And I think a lot of people like to argue that, like, yo, so then surgeons should save your life for free and not get paid for this difficult thing that not everybody could do. That's not what people are saying. I think what people are saying is that people shouldn't be turned away just because they can't pay a $30,000 medical bill for something that literally could have killed them that they have no control over. Like, I think that's the messed up part about the medical industry. Like, people be literally having to spend their entire life paying off having their life that they didn't ask for. It's like a deep thing, and that's also why I'm pro-choice with abortion, because it's like, bro, they literally didn't have to be here. They don't care. You don't gain consciousness for a long time. I pretty much believe I realized I was a living thing in the middle of Walgreens at like 9 p.m. in 2007, maybe. Like, no lie. I have memories from before then and all that stuff, and like I was eating and doing things, like I was living, but I don't think I realized that I was like a living thing for like 3 years. No cap. So like once we figure out where consciousness stems from and when it really begins, all these people can literally shut up. So like until then, let them speak, but it'll happen at some point, and all of their arguments will completely just dissipate and be invalid, even more invalid than they are now.
Really well off.
Like,
Who
yeah.
are they to determine the value of life? The healthcare system creates such profit, and that profit is created off the misery of others, of the illness
No
of
lie.
others, including the prison system, where you have jails that are privately owned, because at that point, what you have is a hotel, and you want to fill up the hotel. Why would there be a business that profits off of crime? That doesn't make any sense. If you put profit ahead of people are going to suffer, obviously.
Very true, bro. W take.
So you said like only the billionaires succeed in capitalism, and I gotta disagree with that because I'm the CEO of my own company. A couple months ago, I started a jewelry company, and I'm not a billionaire, but it's been relatively successful enough to I can make rent and go through college.
Good for you, bro.
I think
High key, that's a W.
like me who own a small business who capitalism really benefits.
I think, and I understand where he's coming from, and this kind of goes back to what I was agreeing with. Like, it's not the problem with capitalism overall, it's just the fact that it's not fair. Like, it's not fair for people who start off in really bad, impoverished situations and literally can't support themselves, like, at all. They have to live in a capitalistic society that profits off of their existence, and they get nothing from it except for barely surviving. Like, barely surviving, bro. Barely. And then wonder why people rob and steal and do these things to try and generate some money. Like, man, free YSL, bro.
If capitalism isn't the solution, then what is the solution?
Do you want to hear it?
Socialism?
Socialism.
So the problem with democratic socialism, I mean, you talk about how capitalism hurts the middle class, but in reality, if democratic socialism was tried, the middle class are going to be paying way more taxes, not just the rich. You see, the rich don't pay taxes because they don't work. They make money off assets. The middle class, they work. And because they're working, they're going to pay more taxes under a proposal like Bernie Sanders or, I don't know, AOC or Ilhan Omar.
I personally am okay with paying higher taxes. I would love people who make billions of dollars pay their fair share of taxes.
Exactly.
But increase taxes
That's the thing.
for a better situation for people.
There's literally a sacrifice for everything. Like, you have to sacrifice something for something else. And that's another reason why capitalism is kind of stupid. Like, yeah, you have to sacrifice money for things, but like, dude, come on. Can we get back to like trading and just like, I give you this card, you give me this one, you know? Like, or I give you these cards, you give me this one, like something like that. Like, that would make sense. But like, dude, putting higher to, like, okay, bro. If it was a fair game and capitalism made sense, higher taxes probably wouldn't hurt that many people. It would help way more people than it hurts. It would barely hurt these billionaires that literally spend as much anyways on stupid things that don't mean anything, like custom built safes. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Manny Koshman, but like, dude, I don't even know if he's a billionaire. He's probably a billionaire. He has 9 SLRs. He's got to be a billionaire at this point, or he's very close, like very close. But like, and he's literally an exception, because I saw that man almost have a heart attack over a $25,000 service bill on a Bugatti. Like, bro literally almost cried. It was hilarious. But I feel it though. But like, still though, it's barely even hurting them. It's just helping people that don't have that opportunity to make any type of money for real.
For all, that is exactly what I stand.
That's a win-win, bro.
I'm not sure that...
It's a win for the government, and it's a win for poor people. Literally.
Socialism is the answer. Yugoslavia before World War II did okay, but they didn't do all that great, and they were taken over quite quickly. What I'm thinking is capitalism, although is not the best...
I think he has a good take. I'm gonna hear him out. But also with situations like that, that's really just people trying something, failing at it, so that we can learn from their mistakes and do it better. High key. Same thing with communism. We can learn from the USSR. We can learn from China and not do what they did wrong, but work on that and do something better. High key.
Solution is one of the best solutions for a democratic society.
Think about socialism, you think about wealth distribution. And then money becomes a very big role too, because the ones that have less money become envious of those that have more money. And then money is like, it becomes a god, because you don't want anyone else to have that money but yourself. And if you, for example, look at the Scandinavian countries, they have a capitalistic market, but they have a socialist wealth distribution. And that's why it works over there. And I personally come from Europe, so I have seen that.
So you think that works?
I personally don't think that works. I think it takes a lot of money from the rich and from the middle class.
My name is
She's
Nathan.
European, I get it now.
I'm 18 years old. I would like to ask the other side if they believe America is the greatest country in the world. If they disagree with that, I want to know what country they believe is better than America.
Oh my God, what's the name of it? I feel like it's supposed to be like a Q or something. It's like a very low-key country. Like, they don't get into anything. They don't do anything. They don't have like a crazy resource thing. Like, they don't have oil. They don't have like salt or anything. They just exist. That's the greatest country in the world. They don't pay taxes. They don't do anything stupid. They just exist, and that's how it should be, bro. That's literally how it should be. You shouldn't be taxing people on land that you really don't own and all of this stupid stuff. That's how it should be. That's the greatest country in the world. We're like top 5, though. The U.S. is top 5, easily. There's a lot of things that we have that people dream of, and that's why they come here, but like, they get disappointed because it's really not that cool. But like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And I haven't been to Canada yet. I would put Canada over the U.S. I would, bro. I haven't been there yet. And I know they got weird stuff. They got a crazy past. But guess what? Doesn't everybody, right? It's nothing wrong with coming back from that, all right? There's literally nothing wrong with that. Everyone has a future. Everyone has a past. Everyone has a future, right? So, shout out to Canada, bro.
I do believe it's a blessing and it's a privilege to live in a country that gives you the liberty and freedom to express who you want to be.
It definitely is a privilege.
The American dream is dead.
The American dream is just stupid. It's not even dead. It's just stupid, bro. It's still around, but like, it's stupid. Nobody wants 2 dogs, 4 kids, white picket fence, like an American car. Like, that's stupid, bro. I think it's a very stupid way to live, and it's kind of dumb, bro. Life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability. Well, it's not even, it's literally, regardless of social class and circumstances of birth, this is literally, it hasn't been valid, though. Like, it literally hasn't even been valid. That never happened. That happened for a small percentage of people, a very small percentage of people. That never happened. No lie. That never happened, bro.
I gotta say, I disagree with the phrase American dream, an American dream, for who? The Native Americans we slaughtered, the enslaved people. I mean, this romantic.
She bringing up stuff I ain't even think of. Oh, God. See this, bro? Let me clap it for Cindy. Let me clap it for Cindy again, bro. Hold on, bro, because, bro, she going in. She going in, man. Her for mayor of Florida, because we need someone better. Not gonna lie.
That there's this dream is just basically marketing for capitalism. It's very well funded propaganda, and has it inspired good acts and good people
Absolutely.
to do good things? Of course, because ultimately, in a large sense, humanity is good. But this idea of the American dream, I think, is
It's played out, man.
I think
It's
the
weird.
fantasy
It's
of
not
it
valid.
is being torn apart a little bit. And I think that's actually exciting because it opens up room for something better, something more inclusive to grow.
That's real, man. I feel it.
I think the phrase is kind of corny, but the idea that someone's like building themselves up in capitalism, I feel like that I kind of have done that a bit with my business. So I don't think it's dead.
I do think the American dream is dying, though. You know, the American dream now is not the same as it was 30 years ago. Have a family,
Valid.
buy a home, have a great job. But now it's very difficult to buy a home. Income has
Seriously.
not increased compared to the price of a house. You know, I do think it's dying, though, but I don't think it's completely dead because there's a lot of immigrants who are still trying to come to America. America does have the highest immigrant population. 14% of our population are immigrants. We have a lot of people on our southern border, and I think they all want to come to America.
Yeah, I think the American dream still exists, and I can speak firsthand because my family came from a third world country. But so does the American nightmare. The people suffering, not just here, but also around the world due to policies, due to exploitation, due to colonization, due to a lot of issues that are directly at hand
Ben
to
spitting.
America. So there's a lot of blood on the United States' hand, and a lot of
Way
people
too
don't
much.
want to leave their home country, but the situations that have been created there are forcing people to leave. Like my mother would have loved to stay in Mexico, but unfortunately due to poverty, which had a lot to do with NAFTA and what happened in 1994, directly caused by the United States, issues that created this migration. So is it a better opportunity here? Yes, my people come here and we send our money back to our ancestors. Would we just like to stay where we're from? Yeah, that would be a much better option.
As a woman
that's real.
myself, I definitely think that the American dream still exists. We long for the opportunities that people have here in America for the job.
It's when I said something about her going to Europe, but she's literally from Europe. I just put that together. Like, so she's probably okay now, but like, don't let her go back. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's not safe.
Because
I'm not gonna
the
lie.
innovations that are available in this free market economy, this capitalist.
I'm not saying that cults don't happen here, but like, come on, man. We all saw Midsummer, except for me. I actually didn't watch it. I watched the trailer and I've heard about it. I need to watch it, but like, okay.
Country.
Let's wrap
So
this
the
up,
American
bro.
dream is in the eye of the
Hour and
beholder.
12
If you're an
minutes.
immigrant or if you live here, it's different. It's going to be different.
Yeah,
I don't
true.
like the idea of the American dream, but I am a person who's still going to always believe in hope. If you work hard and you take advantage of opportunities, you can make a difference in your life. I mean, you're an example of it. I'm so amazed by you. I think it's awesome what you're doing at such a young age.
Very true,
I am
man.
very, very
Love to see it.
impressed with you three. My hope for you is that you stay open-minded and that you're always willing to be learners and not just listeners.
That's how it should be, bro. Oh God.
Great.
This was a W episode. A lot of bad takes, but that's how it is with Middle Ground, bro. There's people on two sides, and there's, you know.
Good lawyers say anything.
That's how it is. Good lawyer. Yeah, bro. He definitely could have saved Amber Heard. Probably. And then again, probably not. I don't think he would have. But, like, that is true, though. He could definitely be that guy. He's no Saul or anything, but, you know, he could be up there. He could be like, what's that guy's name? There's too many lawyers in Florida, bro. I can't even think of one.